In 3 days, President-elect Bola Tinubu will take the oath of office as Nigeria's 16th president. It's the 7th inauguration in Nigeria's 4th republic. Thanks for joining us on the program. We're counting down to the May 29 handover, and you can share your thoughts now on Twitter using the hashtag #CountdownToMay29. Remember to mention at TVC News NG. I am Abosede Adeniran. Today, the President-elect Bola Tinubu was conferred with the highest honor in Nigeria, the Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. Also decorated was the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, who was awarded the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. President Muhammadu Buhari conferred both men with national honors at the presidential villa in Abuja as part of activities for the inauguration of new administration on May the 29th.
78 to 90. Government signed secondary school.
That I stand before you today to confer national honors on the President-elect and Vice President-elect, His Excellency Kashim Shettima. This ceremony marks a significant milestone in our nation's democratic journey as we inaugurate a new administration that will lead Nigeria towards greater progress and prosperity. I extend my warmest congratulations to the President-elect and his well-deserved victory at the February 25th, 2023 presidential election. That I stand before you today to confirm.
President Muhammadu Buhari there at the conferment of GCFR and GCON on the President-elect and Vice President-elect.
This ceremony.
You have bestowed the nation's highest honor on my Vice President-elect, Shettima and me. Our deep thanks also for the transition document, which clearly enumerated the effort of the past 8 years and beyond. The document summarizes the immense work of your administration. They constitute an impressive and noteworthy scorecard. You have made history, and no one can deny your contribution to our national development.
The President-elect Bola Tinubu speaking there. Now, Eagle Square is the venue for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria. It is in the nation's capital, Abuja, located between the Office of the Head of Service and the Federal Secretariat buildings in the Central Business District. The Eagle Square is used as the main venue for the Independence Day Parade and the presidential inauguration of the President of Nigeria. Since its completion in 1999, it has also hosted a number of political rallies, religious programs, musical concerts, and award ceremonies. Facilities in the Eagle Square include VIP pavilion, over 2,500 seats in covered terraces, to mention a few. For more on the preparations, co-chairman on venue, parades, and swearing-in 2023 Presidential Transition Council, Makinde Araoye, joins me on the countdown. Thank you for joining us on the program. Some novel ideas about this year's inauguration. What really should Nigerians expect from the Eagle Square on Monday?
Thanks for having me. I'm sure this is not the first time we'll be experiencing a presidential swearing-in in Nigeria. This year's swearing-in is actually of interest to a lot of international observers, and we have also a lot of heads of state that have actually shown keen interest in attending the swearing-in of the President-elect, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. All hands are on deck. The Presidential Transition Council is actually being led by Boss Mustapha to the government of the Federation. And he's actually doing a fantastic job with the team that he has put together, preparing for this grand day, the swearing in of the President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is the first time we're going to have this number of interested head of states storming the country, coming from all over the world to witness the special day.
And on a scale of 1 to 100, what would you say is the level of preparation at the venue?
The level of preparation at the venue, at the parade ground is at 99%. We're just having finishing touches to the renovation, the rehabilitation of the parade ground itself. We're also putting a facelift to all the surrounding buildings because of for security reasons. We know what the country is saying at the moment when it comes to security, and we are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that the security around the parade ground, the renovation, everything is going to be completed today, Thursday.
And let's talk more deeply about the security around the venue and the military parade.
Okay.
Yes, let's talk about security.
Well,
please go ahead.
Well, I'm sure you must have listened. I'm sure you must have listened to the National Security Advisor, retired Major General Mongono. He said it clearly: if you do not have any business at the parade ground, if you were not invited for the swearing-in, there's actually no business. You have no business there. I know the security agencies, all arms of the security agencies, it's going to be a very, 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 very tight security arrangements that we already have in place. And there is no how. If you do not have an invitation, you are not invited for this special occasion, there's absolutely no reason for you to be at the parade ground. Security is going to be extremely, extremely tight. And as I said again, we have a lot of heads of states. We have a delegation coming in from the United Kingdom. We have a delegation coming in from the United States of America. And we have to give them that confidence that, you know, the security is going to be there to protect their delegation and all the heads of states that are coming to witness this special event. And the media is also there. The TV, the television is also there for people to sit down and watch from home. Those that cannot make it to the Eagle Square can actually watch this from the comfort of their home. Not everyone, not the whole 200 million population of Nigeria can make it to the Eagle Square. There's the capacity, and all those that were invited have actually shown interest, and I'm sure the capacity is going to be full to capacity on the D-Day.
You've actually hit the nail on the head as to the fact that it is strictly by invitation. But you will agree, Mr. Arari, that so many more people would have actually loved to witness the event firsthand, I mean, right before their eyes.
Yeah, you're actually correct. And as I said again, this is the first time during the presidential inauguration that we've actually seen this high number of interest. It's actually overwhelming. We have way too many heads of state that we didn't even expect that have actually promised to either come by themselves or even send a delegation. And I mean, the capacity of the Eagle Square is about 5,000 seats. We can't have the whole Nigeria at Eagle Square. You could stay at home, pray for the incoming government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and just hope that this government brings in the hope and the progress that everyone is actually expecting, which I know is going to happen.
So the restriction of movement around that area for non-invited guests, is it an all-day affair, or how long is that expected to last?
Well, the inauguration parade and swearing-in is actually going to start at 10 a.m. All guests are expected to be seated by 8:30. And you know, the president, the president-elect, the vice president, the chief justice of Nigeria, everyone is going to come in their motorcade. They all have their passes. If you don't have a pass, you cannot come within a radius of the parade ground. You cannot. So this, again, are some of the security measures being put in place. There are more security measures being put in place, which I cannot speak about for security reasons. But as I've advised and as I've said, and which the National Security Advisor, Retired General, Major General Munguna has already said, if we do not have any business around the vicinity of the parade ground, it's advisable you stay away from the place.
And what would you say about the level of support you have enjoyed in preparing the venue for this august occasion, I mean, from residents in that area?
Well, we've received tremendous support. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has done a fantastic job. He has put together a team of permanent sects, directors, who understand the way and the workings of government, and they also understand the environs. So we've been able to speak to most of the surrounding ministries, agencies, to also make them understand that we're going to be having an event on Monday, and they've respectfully, giving us the leeway to do what we have to do on Monday. So we're actually receiving tremendous support. Everyone is excited about this new government coming in. Everyone is excited about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu being the next president of Nigeria. Everyone is excited about a new progressive government coming into place. Everyone is excited about the hope that this new government is coming. So everyone is actually on board. Everyone is actually cooperating to make sure that the swearing of the next president is actually a success.
Well, the excitement can actually be felt, and especially talking about renewed hope, the involvement, participation of people of all strata, the young and the old. And I think you yourself are a testament to that, having someone within this age bracket handling such a very integral part of this transition program. Talk to us about that, the honor, that you have doing this.
Well, I mean, this is not the first time I'm working. I've actually served in different capacities with the party, the APC. I've also served, different capacities as a special advisor to Ekiti State government. So based on my competence, which has actually been observed by Asiwaju himself, they have actually given me the recognition to be able to plan around the inauguration of the president-elect. And the president-elect has an idea, which is that he's able to hunt talent, young talent, and also bring them up to the national level. This is also something he has also promised. He has also promised the youths in Nigeria that he has seen them, he has heard their noise, and he's going to actually put them in places and roles of responsibility. It's now up to the young people to be able to show their capacity and the transformation that they can bring on board. So it's not just about being youthful, it's not just about the age, it's about what can you do for your country, which the president-elect has promised that the younger generation in Nigeria, he's going to give them a chance. And I'm an example of what he has promised. And there are many other people in this inauguration committee who are of like minds, younger generation, and he has given them an avenue to perform, and they're performing brilliantly.
All eyes are on the president-elect and his vice, even as we count down to their inauguration on Monday. Co-chairman on venue, parades, and swearing in 2023 Presidential Transition Council, Makinde Araoye. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Let's now take you through some of the activities for the inauguration as stipulated by the chairman of the Presidential Transition Council, who is also secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. A regimental dinner has been held in honor of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Officers' Mess. That was on Tuesday, 23rd of May. On the 24th, valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting was held at the council chambers of Aso Rock. And today, May the 25th, President-elect Bola Tinubu and the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima were honored with the Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic and Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, respectively, at the State House Conference Center. On Friday, May the 26th, a public lecture and Jumat prayer will hold at the National Mosque, and that's at 10 a.m. Later that day and 1:30 p.m. And on the 27th, it will be followed by an inauguration lecture on Saturday. That's May 27th. It's to be delivered by the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. The lecture is titled Deepening Democracy for Integration and Development. There is also a Children's Day program on the same day that will include parade and children's party. On Sunday, May the 28th, an interdenominational church service will hold at the National Christian Center, Abuja, followed by an inauguration dinner and gala night at the State House Conference Center at 7 p.m. Now, May 29 is D-Day, and it will feature inauguration parade and swearing in at the Eagle Square at 10 a.m. Guests are expected to be seated by 8:30 a.m. A post-inauguration luncheon is scheduled for 1:30 p.m. same day at the State House Banquet Hall, and it's strictly for Mr. President with brother presidents, heads of government, and his invited guests. Well, let's talk more now about the investiture that held earlier today, where the president-elect Bola Tinubu was honored with the honor of the GCFR and his vice, Kashim Shettima, with GCON. And joining me for more on that is our State House correspondent, Femi Akonde. Femi, good to have you join us at this time. You have been covering events leading up to the inauguration. Let's talk particularly about this investiture. Talk to us about the mood in the room.
Well, a lot of people were happy. Everyone in the room was happy, including the president-elect was happy about the investiture of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, and the deputy, Senator Kashim Shettima, was also glad that he witnessed this occasion where he was honored as the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. Well, he says that this again is another reawakening about the task ahead for his administration. He says he understands the magnitude of the challenges and he is up to the task. He assured President Muhammadu Buhari and all Nigerians that his administration will not disappoint. And he also commended President Buhari's administration for putting in place a transition committee, a presidential transition council that has enhanced the smooth handover from one government to the other. This was one of the challenges President Muhammadu Buhari faced at the beginning of his administration in 2015. There was no proper handover. There were no notes for President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to look at, to know where the previous administration stopped and how far they have come in terms of administering the affairs of the country. So it was really a turbulent start for President Buhari's administration. And he says he wants the administration is handing over to have a quick and easy start. I want all of this to be institutionalized from one government to the other. At the end of every tenure, a presidential transition committee will be set up that will prepare a handover note, or which will be like a policy status update that will preserve institutional memory and also support efforts of the incoming administration. He wants this culture to be handed from one administration to the other. But already a legal framework to enable this process take place has already been put in place with the signing of Executive Order 14 by President Muhammadu Buhari. That ensures that every 4 years, a handover note is prepared. All documents of the administration is put together and presented to the incoming administration to help them guide them and help them navigate through issues of governance and how to move the country from where they stopped about today.
And Femi, specifically, the president-elect was, quick to acknowledge the honor that was bestowed by the outgoing president now on Chief MKO Abiola. That honor of the GCFR, because it's something he referred to. It's like going down memory lane and remembering that, okay, this human is actually significant in the growth of Nigeria's democracy. Let's talk about the significance of that.
Yes, for the president-elect, he says that is evidence that President Muhammadu Buhari is a Democrat. You know that Chief MKO Abiola, winner of the June 12 presidential election, Well, that election was annulled, but it was one of the elections that was the most free, fair, and credible and acceptable by all Nigerians. Successive governments have refused to acknowledge the success of that election and also accept TVC Abiola as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The President Muhammad Buhari was able to do honor the memory of TVC Abiola by bestowing on him posthumously the highest honor in the country, the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. And you know that for President-elect Asiwaju Tinubu, he was also at the forefront of ensuring that Nigeria returns to democratic rule ahead of 1993, and all of that accumulated into the presidential election in 1993 before it was annulled, and they began another fresh round of advocacy to restore democratic rule in Nigeria and also reclaim the mandate of Chief MK Abiola. He had to go on exile, he suffered persecution, and a whole lot of issues from the government, the military government at that time. And you know, for President Muhammad Buhari to come and recognize all of those efforts, which President Muhammad Buhari is also a beneficiary of, you know, the president-elect was thankful, and indeed on behalf of other Nigerians who were neck deep in that struggle through NADECO and all other groups that were formed to apply pressure on the military administration to ensure that MK Abiola's mandate was returned to him. You know, he says that indeed President Muhammad Buhari has lived to his promise, because this was one of the promises he made when he was campaigning in 2015, when he campaigned in the Southwest, that he was going to honor the memory of Chief MK Abiola, and he fulfilled that promise.
All right, Femi, thank you very much for that update from your end. Well, at this time, let's now speak with Senator Kaka, who is speaking on the inauguration ceremony in this Fourth Republic. Senator Gbenga Kaka, thank you for joining us on the program. Exactly how would you react to these honors that have now been bestowed on the president-elect and his vice?
Well, there's nothing spectacular about it. It has been the norm that once a president and vice president is elected, even the chief judge of the federation and the Senate president, the normal thing is that they are conferred with the highest honor in the land. So we can only congratulate him and wish him the best of luck, commensurate with the title of that honor.
All right, let's now talk about your expectations from the incoming administration.
My expectation will not be different from the expectation of the generality of the people. Number one, we know we have a lot of moral challenges. And what we need urgently right now is attitudinal changes so that we find a way of reducing the decadence in the society. That is in the realm of what people will call intangible issue. But on the tangible, we know the challenges we are facing with infrastructure generally, starting primarily from electricity and power generation and distribution. It's been a long-term challenges, and whatever that could be done in the next 4 years will be welcome and will be to the satisfaction, especially when it is positive, will be to the satisfaction of the people. President Buhari kickstarted the process, though belatedly, by signing the Liberalization Act, whereby an amendment is made to the Constitution that will allow states, even local government and private individuals, corporate bodies, to establish independent electricity generation outfit.
All right, Senator Kaka, we can go on and on really about what we expect from the incoming administration, but I'm curious, how confident are you in the ability of the incoming administration to deliver on its promises and give Nigerians a better life?
Why shouldn't I be confident in him? Because here is a man who, over the years, has shown us the stuff is made of. Except he's going to disappoint himself. He cannot do but perform. I'm so confident that he is going to perform because we knew his contribution during when he was in the Senate, during Babangida era. From there leading to NADECO, I was a member of NADECO, and I knew the role each and every one of us played. We sacrificed everything that we had. Then come 1999, he was governor of Lagos State while I was deputy governor of Ogun State. I know what he was able to do. I know how he intelligently managed to survive the onslaught by President Olusegun Obasanjo. I know how the local government money was seized, and he managed to generate some internally generated revenue. Right. Then beyond that, there are so many openings that were made in Lagos that is making Lagos State to be the only state that can stand on its own and survive. The only viable state that we can talk of in the country today.
So you have huge confidence in the administration of now, when from May 29th, Bola Tinubu to actually deliver on his mandate. Thank you very much, Senator Gbenga Kaka, for joining us on the program.
Thank you. God bless you.